And we're back. Sorry, there were some technical difficulties. So we were talking about casting news in the comic book world, and there was another big bit of casting, and that was She-Hulk was cast by Tatiana Maslany, who we might know from Orphan Black.
Yes.
We'll stick with,
Yes.
are you familiar with Tatiana Maslany?
Yes, I loved Orphan Black. Oh my gosh, that's like one of those things that like if I'm cleaning, like I'll just just put on and just like rewatch it while I clean and stuff.
Same. I was part of Clone
Like, so
Club,
good.
all 5 seasons.
Well, those
Yes.
who are part of Clone Club know that Tatiana Maslany is used to playing multiple characters. So her playing Jen Walters and She-Hulk, that should be easy. That should be easy picking.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what the tone of the show is going to be, because I'm like the biggest Shulky fan ever. I think I have every one of her comic appearances. And the show hopefully will riff off of maybe Dan Slott's run, although I had some issues with Dan Slott's run, but I hope it riffs off that kind of light comedic tone. There's so much crazy stuff in the Shulky world, in She-Hulk's world, that they can
And
do.
She-Hulk is also on your team, right, Annie?
Oh, hell yes.
Hmm.
All indications are that it's going to take a lot from the Dan Slott run, and also, those of us who know Orphan Black, we know a little bit of her comedic skills. But she actually, I looked this up. She has 10 years of improv experience. So
See I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, Mike, but what I was going to say is that my initial reaction, I didn't even know that Tatiana Maslany did improv.
Yeah.
And so my first reaction was like, wait, does she even do really kind of absurd comedy? And I also really hope that the show breaks the fourth wall. I hope she's talking to us all the time from John Burns.
That's a requisite. It has to, because she's just so. Just kind of getting a peek into her thought process as she's kind of going throughout her day is sort of one of the most fun aspects of She-Hulk as a character.
see, I think what they'll probably do to sort of distinguish her from Deadpool is maybe do more of a self-aware narration rather than have her directly address the camera and address the viewers, especially because if I remember correctly, the Slott run didn't have a lot of the fourth wall breaking. And
It did at a few really crucial moments.
Right.
Like there were like 3 or 4 times, to the best of my recollection. I just wanted to briefly interject that I hope it's actually, I would disagree, Michael. I hope, most respectfully, of course, I would hope that it's not that kind of Ally McBeal narration. I hope it's actually addressed directly to the viewer, because she was really the first one to do that way before Deadpool. And she did it for a long time better. I mean, John Burns' run was hysterical. He had her walking across panels and ads and reaching from one panel to the other. If they could incorporate that into the credits of a She-Hulk show, that would be awesome.
see, I just wonder if, those of us who are deep into comics know that she did it first, but now that Deadpool's made, however many hundreds of millions of dollars and making that his gimmick, I think that would be a concern that it would, skew too similarly to him if it was done in a similar way. So it might make
I just was gonna say, I feel like it could be, it could maybe have like a different effect or something. Like almost you could maybe like pause in the middle of a scene or something like that and kind of have her like turn to the audience, hint, hint, wink, wink. But it's just, you can kind of play with the different actual ways of executing that and not have it be precisely the same.
right.
So
Right.
It
Right.
is still something that's like that's still crucial to her character.
And I also don't want her to take a back seat to Deadpool. She was there first. She should get to talk. She should get to break the fourth wall as much as she wants.
Yeah, but it's not always who does the thing first. It's who does it on the bigger stage. And it's hard to. People are aware. More people, I would say, are aware of Deadpool doing it than She-Hulk doing it. So at this point, you wouldn't want to kind of cut her legs off by having her appear to be copying Deadpool. And then, so I hope, like I said, I hope that she's self-aware, and I hope that there is some level of fourth wall breaking, but it's just has to be executed in a way that's it's unique to She-Hulk,
Right.
Too similar to what Ryan Reynolds was doing with his character. But I think, listen, I trust the people involved. I trust I trust Tatiana from an acting perspective, and I think that Marvel's been really sharp so far, and there's no reason to doubt the casting nor doubt the direction.
Yeah, and frankly, I think they're aware, like not even just the show, but like Tatiana Maslany herself is probably aware of kind of the other similar characters in that sort of comedic space, to try to be like, I don't want to do the exact same thing. For her to be, having that history in doing comedy and stuff like that, she kind of is aware of what they're doing, but trying to set her own, blaze her own trail. So I think she'll accomplish that well.
For sure. But, I'm a huge She-Hulk fan. She's one of the handful of superheroes who are also lawyers. So there's a soft spot for me in that respect. And, and there's just something very compelling about Jen's story that has always... What's up?
I was going to interject and say that one of the most important elements, and one of the things that makes Jennifer absolutely unique, is that she actively cultivates joy. She purposefully cultivates joy in her life in a way that no other superhero does that I know of in the big three. Because she comes from kind of a tragic background, rather than kind of remain dark and angsty, she really resisted that. She talks about in a lot of different issues from a lot of different authors about how she purposely cultivates joy. She loves being a superhero. She loves being She-Hulk. And I really hope that joyous element comes across in the comedy in the show. I hope it's like really fizzy and effervescent in that way.
Mm-hmm. One soft spot that I've always had is the concept of superhero law. So, we can given that at this point we've had Avengers as sort of ongoing concerns in the MCU for at least a decade, if not maybe 15 years at this point. The idea of there being a superhero law practice and us getting to see that play out in the She-Hulk show just feels perfectly timed.
And the cameo opportunities. And it also, if they do the Living Tribunal route, if they do that story at some point, if this show gets more than one season, that just opens up all these different doorways into all these different parts of the Marvel Universe.
Now, I think that just might be you advocating for another character on your team, Annie. The Living Tribunal.
No, I'm literally being kind of like, okay, fair, possibly. I honestly wasn't thinking of that. I was honestly thinking that even if they did it as kind of just like an absurdist, surreal episode at the very end of the series, it would be cool if there was like an after credit scene that ties into that.
Right. So now comes the time when I get some things off my chest. I had actually had a lot of discussions over the past couple of weeks about these castings, in particular about this undercurrent of people who seem to want to be killjoys when it comes to race-bent casting in particular. As you know, we are a race-bending friendly place here in the racial draft. It's kind of our thing. So, I have a few harsh...
Are you talking about somebody in particular?
I am not talking about...
A little bit, kind of.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. There are...
I mean, because you can call them out. Like, I think that's only fair. I mean...
If he called them out, it would be like racists all over Twitter. There would be thousands of people he would have to call out. It's this mood on Twitter. Go on, Michael.
But actually, the the races can go unaddressed. We already know that we're not into racists and what they stand for. I'm
Absolutely not.
specifically about people who purport to be our people, who purport to care about diversity and purport to care about highlighting characters of color, specifically Black characters. Because I've seen a lot of Black dudes subscribe to this way of thinking, and I'm here to tell you that your way of thinking is wrong. Your way of thinking implies, or the implication of your way of thinking is that there is some sort of finite amount of Black characters or characters of color that, we only have a couple of slots, and we have to make sure that the couple of slots that we have, the crumbs off the table, so to speak, can only come through a specific way. And if they don't come through a specific way, then everything else is suspect. Those people are people who think that they are tied to. There's a little bit of gatekeeping involved, because these tend to be people who are fans of the books, and they are fans of these, I'll just say it, these white characters, and they feel a sense that these white characters should stay white. But the way that they go about saying that the white characters should stay white is they use this straw man of, well, I just want to see the Black characters or the other characters of color get their opportunities. But the point is, and this is really we're not talking about those characters. We're not talking about they're bringing Mr. Terrific to the DC Films universe and who should play him. We're talking about they are naming these high-profile characters, these well-known characters, these big characters, and they're opening up the casting. They're making the casting, if not race blind, race aware. And they're saying, you know what? In this situation, Hawkman can be Black. And the only thing that stops Hawkman from being Black, in the eyes of some of these fans, is limited imagination. Limited imagination. This is a character that has roots in ancient Egypt, which is in Africa. Thank you very much. This is a character that's been reincarnated multiple times in multiple species, under multiple worlds, and somehow these people feel like he has to be a white guy from now to time immemorial, and I'm sick of it.
Amen.
Yes,
Can I just back you up here?
Oh, I just got a hard on.
Let me just back Mike up here and say absolutely. It's absolutely insane to me that they would not cast a Black actor to play an ancient Egyptian pharaoh from exactly the time the Khufu was from, the original, the first Hawkman, the Hawkman Prime. Yeah. There's no way that it should not be a Black actor, and I've seen all over Twitter and social media the same strain of thought. Michael and I follow, a lot of the same people. We're aware of similar discussions. We all are. And it's just awful to me. Race bend everyone. It's way overdue. Open up everything. Race bend everyone.
Yeah. And
we are long overdue for a reckoning.
And more importantly, don't cut the nose off my pharaoh.
Exactly.
I feel like it's so. I mean, you can easily kind of just dismiss these people as being trolls or whatever, but honestly, it comes from such a deep, ugly place that you feel like you have to preserve whiteness as though it's somehow being threatened or somehow adding melanin somehow. You have to make sure you do it the certain right way or the right character. And frankly, if you're doing the math for anybody out there, if you have a Black Hawkman, that's not removing a character that exists.
Mm-hmm.
So we have like 90%, I would even go so far as to say 95% of characters in all of fiction, or maybe even 99%. I mean, we've been at this for, dawn of Western civilization, we've been at this for centuries. And somehow you think that it's the mere mention of us moving outside of our lane or moving outside of our place or, going beyond what they, quote unquote, they have told us we are allowed to do is somehow threatening the white status quo. Like we're beyond that. We're
Mm.
past that, and quite frankly, I hope we take over. So I don't know what else to say beyond that.
Well, and I'm going to jump in on what you were saying to piggyback on that point, because to me, it strikes me as like a fan form of respectability politics.
Right.
It's essentially that there's only one right way to have diversity, and that right way is without ruffling the feathers of white racists, of
Right.
white people who feel threatened by white characters going away. And in order to, let's not scare massa, let's not scare these angry white fanboys by having some of their favorite characters get changed. And the truth is, it's not like listen, we're doing a racial draft. We're going to get into it, right? But it's not like we're coming after your faves. It's not like we're like Captain America's black. I mean, we're doing it on a racial draft, but we're not doing it in the comic book universes, and we're not doing it in movie universes. We're taking characters that, for whatever reason, are sort of right there in the middle. In the middle. They have some fan followings, but they're not the biggest names in the industry. And we're thinking to and a lot of it is marketing. Listen, a lot of it is, if you have 20 white people in a screen together, it's hard to stand out. But if you maybe have only 5 white people, then all of those 5 white people are important, and then the other 15 can be someone else.
Exactly.
Can represent someone else, because all these other groups of people are lacking in representation. All these other people in the world, and these other, or whether it's America or whether it's the worldwide, because this is Marvel and comic book movies and comic book properties are marketing to a worldwide audience. And why wouldn't the people want to see themselves? Now, what I will say about the Hawkman thing is that if people were saying that he should be Egyptian,
right?
If we're saying that he should be some sort of Middle Eastern,
that's
Egyptian's still black. I just want to put that out.
Can I just interject? Can I just interject that as a Jew, it's absurd. Ancient Egyptians were black, differing shades of black and brown, but they were black. The noses have been cut off the statues. We all know. No, let a black man play Hawkman because Khufu was black.
Mm-hmm. Tell him, Annie. Tell him.
Can I just say?
Sorry.
Go ahead, Annie. Tell him.
I was just going to say about Captain America that and I'm sure we're going to get into it later in the podcast, but with the Nick Fury series being announced, I want him to go back to the origin of the super soldier program, and I want to see Josiah X Elijah. I want to see the original Captain Americas who were black.
Yeah.
So I'm of two minds on that.
Yeah.
Yes. If I could just quickly interject here, I just wanted to. It is. I don't know. It's kind of crazy to me to even have to feel like I have to say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it because it's kind of an ugly elephant in the room for me. So just like you mentioned about Hawkman criticizing as far as being Middle Eastern and whatnot, it's always the complaint about adding specifically black people, always, and it comes from this ugly historical notion of like white genocide, and it comes from this threat that the blacks are coming to do whatever to your women and your children and your ruin your property values. So I just feel like as much as they try to claim that they're so pro-black, it's literally the exact opposite of what they claim they're trying to do. And so I feel like I just had to get that off my chest.
No,
thank you for sharing, Randy. This is a safe space.
And also, can I just again point out that what does Middle Eastern even mean? There are black people all over the continent of Africa. There are tons of black people in the quote Middle East in Muslim, Arab, and actually Muslim minority countries.
Coming from somebody that's been in war and seen all the dead bodies that we've accumulated, one of the things that I had to open my eyes to was the simple fact that like the bodies didn't look like didn't all look like, it just had all different colors pretty much. Yeah. But they were all there for the same reason, and they're all from the Middle East. So
No, but
It's just, you know,
I'm willing to acknowledge that when it comes to visibility in pop culture, that Middle Eastern people, particularly in Western American pop culture,
Yeah.
a lot of visibility. So if there were people from that background who were arguing for that kind of representation,
Right.
I would be sympathetic and I would want to listen to what they had to say. But it wasn't them. It wasn't them. It was often black men who felt like, and this is, listen, I said that I had a spicy take, and this is my spiciest take. Certain black characters have been underdeveloped. We just have to be honest. And they are popular because they are one of very few black characters. And there are a lot of black fans who want to see a character there are a lot of black fans who feel like if there were more than that one black character, their favorite character might not be as popular. That's what it comes down to. That's how I see it. So they're thinking to themselves, "Oh no!" When you see it in corporate, this Highlander mentality. There can only be one, and they're trying to make it so that there aren't more than one, so that their characters don't get overlooked. Now, I will be the first one to say that there are many black characters who should get more, who should get pushed more, who should get exposure, who should have more books written about them. But what you don't want to do is pull down the opportunity for more representation in order to get in the hopes that your favorite black character is going to get exposure.
And quite frankly, you should be hoping to see your character get more development so that it doesn't threaten the status quo or whatever. Right. So,
I mean, obviously, it's a little bit different from the Bechdel test, right? To have like black characters interacting with other black characters.
Right.
That's very rare. It is very rare to have black characters who have meaningful relationships with other black characters, particularly we're talking about superhero characters. So your idea that there should only be one actually undercuts the idea of these characters being fully formed and having real interactions. It is appalling to me that we actually haven't seen in the Marvel universe War Machine and Sam Wilson have a meaningful scene together.
As both military men, yeah.
Both black men, both military men, with friends who their best friends are friends and have conflict, but for some reason they are in the periphery and they never talk about that.
That's crazy.
Yes, I've been thinking about that for a long time, and I totally agree with Michael. I just, one of the things that I wonder about with, with people like this that are so threatened, I wonder why. What is the underlying fear? What are they afraid that they are not going to get? What won't be nourishing about having more black characters absolutely interacting with each other? And I've always wondered, why weren't there more Rhodey and Sam scenes? And Michael hit the nail on the head. We know why.
I want to be sympathetic because if I take a step back and I think about generationally, people my age and people a little older have seen a lot of crap. They've seen characters of color, they've seen black characters treated horrifically. And I think that just like that's why I mentioned respectability politics, because in the same way that people who adhere to respectability politics are just afraid of some kind of backlash or afraid that there's a thing coming that's going to hold our people back. I think that there's this notion that if they try to get too much, if they try to have these characters fill up the space, that all of a sudden it'll all representation. That one day someone will flip a switch and say, no more black characters. We're done. We got enough. And I get that fear, but it's irrational fear. Like if you're a fan of Jon Stewart, for instance, Jon Stewart would actually benefit from there being other black characters for him to interact with. black creatives, black writers, black illustrators, black colorists would benefit from there being more black characters to illustrate, to write stories for, and to color. The fact that, you know, every couple of months we have a controversy about Storm and how Storm is colored. The reason that these people can get those jobs is because there are so few opportunities that they get to actually draw and color black characters. So it's never thought of as a prerequisite for them having the job. You know, as much as I love Storm, Storm gets the benefit, or both the benefit and the detriment of having to be every black woman when it comes to, you know, the high level of Marvel, specifically mutants.
And lighter skinned black woman, let's just point that out.
But Storm,
she's colored that way, but she's not. She's a dark skinned black woman.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But in like on TV, she's played by light skinned people.
Yeah, and again, if you're a black actress, I'm not upset that you, as a black actress who happens to be light skinned, wants to play Storm, because who else are you going to play? You know, like, you were a fan of Storm too, but to me, that's the point. The point is, if there were more black characters, then everyone wouldn't want to just be Storm. If there were, you know, if
there would be, and maybe there would be more opportunities and less colorism directed towards black women in Hollywood.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, I know that that's bigger than comics, but if the X-Men tomorrow, if the X-Men had 3 black women on the team, rest assured it would be important to figure out the skin tones of those 3 black women.
Do you guys think it would be a crazy idea if like Mystique was black?
Well, I mean, no. I mean, obviously,
no.
You racially drafted her, right?
I was like, dang, right. You guys better not have a problem. I see you, Mark. I see you.
I didn't say shit.
So
just standing back, listening to everything.
My fan casting for Mystique for movies has actually been Tandy Newton. You know, I think Tandy Newton would make an amazing Mystique.
In personality and acting, I agree. But why can't we have a dark-skinned black actress be Tandy Newton? Why can't we have a darker-skinned actress?
Yeah.
I think Tandy Newton, in terms of personality and voice and composure and the way she comports herself, would really be able to play Mystique beautifully, though. But I would like to see a woman in Hollywood play her who is really dark, really black, because those actresses just don't get those opportunities.
That's true. I mean, the one problem though with Mystique specifically is that, you know, she's in her resting form, you know, she's going to be blue. So there's already going to be a little bit of a cover up in that respect. And if we're going to go through the trouble, quote unquote trouble, of, you know, casting a dark-skinned black woman, I'd like that black woman to actually represent herself. You know, I mean, one of the underrated things about Black Panther is that we had so many black women be black women, you know, powerful, stately, respectable, and, you know, often you know, I mean respectable as characters that we respect. Sorry, but you know, I hope, you know, there's been a lot of talk in, you know, about what's going to happen with the Black Panther franchise, and I hope that we don't forget about all the powerful women in the Black Panther franchise, even though Chadwick's no longer with us. You know, I think
exactly.
To continue to stand out.
Yep.
You know, Lupita Nyong'o is an incredible actress, and she's still being underrated. So I hope she has the opportunity.
The fact that she's gone without as much work as she had is perpetually sends me into rage blackouts.
Yeah, you know, it is a shame. Like, I know a lot of people would have loved her to be Storm, and that ship has sailed. But I hope that whatever they do with Nakia going forward in the Marvel Cinematic Universe gives her continues to give her the kind of exposure that some of these other studios should be ashamed that they're not giving Black actors.
Black Panther made $1 billion.
Yeah.
And I think that Marvel has started to learn their lesson that audiences are nourished by this kind of representation and hungry for it, and will go pay to see it. Mm-hmm. Will pay good money. And I think that Marvel, more than DC, understands this in terms of its live action television and live action film.
Can I just interject quickly here? Sorry. When you mentioned DC, I kind of have to just chuckle, just to kind of avoid the rage fits.
Oh man, rage blackout! I'm there with you. Let's rage blackout together.
Rage blackout, rage blackout,
rage blackout.
It's so absurd to me that they've had these Black characters on the roster for nearly as long as as Marvel, and even though we have Black Panther, we still are like debating whether or not we can have, not even when, but whether we can have a Vixen movie. We just had a really hugely popular Iron Man movie, and we're still trying to decide, oh gee golly, do we have room for a live action Cyborg to go solo? Or Jon Stewart. We have Guardians of the Galaxy. We already know cosmic stuff is hugely popular. So for me, it's so laughable and it's so absurd that they're still like pussyfooting around basically with this idea that, wow, we just had a Superman movie and we can't possibly make room for Steel. I mean, it's just so
exactly
taking their time and treating this with such a cynical lens. It makes me furious.
So I'm going to jump in with 2 points. As you all know, I am a staunch advocate for Steel.
Yeah.
I think, as are we all.
than Cyborg, for instance. But yeah, I think that Steel is an easy sell, easy character to render, and it's a character that fills a niche that is his own.
Yeah.
There's no reason, especially given that DC already prematurely did their Death of Superman thing.
Right.
The perfect opportunity to introduce us to Steel as someone who picked up the mantle when Superman was in his however long it was that he was dead. So that was just a huge missed opportunity. But one thing I want to jump in on, and given that we were talking about Black Panther, I know this was a controversial position, but I'm going to continue to make it. If DC wanted to turn Thanagar into some kind of cosmic utopia filled
Space Wakanda. Do it.
If they wanted to turn Thanagar into Space Wakanda, given all of the ancient Egyptian iconography and all of the ties between Thanagar and ancient Egypt, there's a pathway to kind of getting that kind of representation in a way that the comic writers just sort of dropped the ball on.
I can, going back again to that Jeff Johns Hawkman run, and the writer who was on Hawkman right before Jeff Johns took over that book, why not have the Thanagarian spaceship crash into ancient Egypt precisely because they saw a population that looked exactly like themselves? I am 1000% behind this.
Yeah.
I love Thanagar mythology, the whole mythos. Just like you said, make it Space Wakanda, and we have to now use that hashtag with every racial draft podcast tweet.
Well, so my idea, in fact, was that given what we know about Egypt being this sort of hub for a different trade and education and knowledge, it's just a sort of center of civilization at one point. That why couldn't the Thanagarians and the Egyptians have intermingled,
Right.
and had their society be a society that spanned the cosmos, and then
sorry, I also want to add on top of that, before anybody gets the wrong impression, that this is not calling for the idea that the Thanagar, like aliens informing the Egyptian people, or like having them be like, they weren't advanced until they learned from the aliens. This is more of like a cooperation between two advanced races. That's what I was saying.
But we do know that, the Egyptians did learn from aliens.
Oh, but you see, this would be on its head. This would be that the aliens and the Egyptians collaborated.
Right.
They like work together. Yeah.
And
I like that.
And the only thing that the Thanagarians gave the original Hawkman, the first two, Khufu and Shiera, were nth metal, because the Thanagarian spaceship crashed and the Thanagarian pilot died in Khufu's arms. And that's when he discovered the nth metal, just by investigating the ship. That's the only technology, quote unquote, that Thanagar ever gave to ancient Egypt.
Precisely.
So, screw those ancient alien theories. I don't like that at all.
We can say that word. We're the only ones who can call it nth metal.
Why not? Wait, what?
No, I'm sorry. Actually, you can say the full name of the metal. Like, call it nth metal.
But that's what it is.
You get it, right, Martin? You get the joke.
I get it, Annie. Do you want me to explain it to you, Annie?
My face is bright tomato red, so I'll just talk to Kia after the podcast.
Going forward, the nth metal is Black Thanagar. It's our nth metal with a hard. But anyhow, no. So anyhow, that was a big part of what I needed to get off my chest, a big vent, because as you know, we're all about race bending. We're all about opening up our minds and being imaginative and thinking about what the possibilities are, right? Because it's not some things are possible, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good tie-in. Ooh. I mean, I just think that the world would be a better place if everybody was just multiracial,
I mean,
right. Well, you know what? That's a good opportunity to transition into multiracial dominance.
That's what I'm
Oh my God, Kia's been destroying us. She has been destroying us.
So we're here to talk about the 8-week season that we had of the Fantasy Comics League. As you know, that season wrapped up last week. In the week that we didn't have a show, I guess people were, self included, was wanted to give us time to breathe before
from this overwhelming onslaught.
The eventuality of what it is. So is everyone prepared first to find out the week 8 scores, and then to find out the overall scores?
Yeah, lay it on.
Yes.
So week 8, blowing up the rear with it's a top.
Blowing up the rear. Sorry. I'm not mature enough for that conversation.
With 13 points, tied for last place in round 8. The Native American
Who was the?
And the Polynesian delegation.
Oh Lord.
13
Oh
points.
no.
Next up, with 23 points.
Ooh, 23.
The Jewish delegation.
Oh!
Yes! Good job!
So we create your playground for you to play in, but then we don't get any points. Okay.
Next
I'll
up.
give you 30 of mine.
No, I'm just going to remain bitter.
Next up,
with 24 points. The Latinx delegation.
Oh, well done.
Martine.
Martine.
Martine's like, let's double check that. You see his face? He's like, let me check that again. I don't know about all that.
Next up,
Mm-hmm.
with 28 points. The Black delegation.
What? How did that happen, Randy?
Okay,
Randy,
hold
did you send him something?
Randy.
You send him that new headset? Are you bribing him?
Next up, with 29 points. The white delegation.
Boo.
Boo.
Why?
Next up, with 62 points.
Mm-hmm.
The multiracial delegation.
Wait, you didn't say I was first. I'm confused right now. I'm like,
Yeah, I actually
wow.
agree. You need to tell Kia that she's first. Girls back each other up.
Wait,
And that leaves our week 8 winner with 96 points.
who the fuck did that shit?
Asian.
The Asian delegation.
That damn Batman.
All right, I'm not gonna say anything because the ninjas will come for me, and I don't.
Yes. However, now this is the important part. The grand prize, the team with the totals for season 1. These are official scores for season 1. Can I get a drum roll, Pete, please? Last place, officially, last place, with 84 total points. The Polynesian delegation.
I knew it. I mean, that's so sad.
No, I dispute. I really want to see how the points
But
are
those
broken down. I
stories,
don't
though,
trust any of
those
this.
Seventh
You didn't-
place.
Wait, time out real quick. You
Mhm.
didn't name the native team in your roll
They were
call.
tied with the Polynesians for
Yeah.
last
No,
place.
that was black team, I thought.
No.
No,
Oh, god damn.
Black team beat the Latinx team.
Sorry, my bad. I am wrong, and I'm the worst co-host.
Mhm.
Finally, we win
5
something,
seconds.
relatively
All right.
speaking.
All right, 7th place, grand total, with a grand total of 109 points. The Native American delegation.
But Joaquin decided that he was here for stories. He wasn't here to really play. Like, and he would have won if he was the multiracial team coach. No, that's what he said. That's what he told me.
That is his official position.
Yeah,
That is his official position.
I'm like, yes, with my picks, yes, you probably would have.
The 6th place, with a grand total of 125 points. The Jewish delegation.
How many points?
Okay.
How many points?
125.
Yeah, if you think I trust Sean to.
Yeah, you know what?
wanna see
I
how
wouldn't
the
trust Sean.
points are broken
Honestly,
down.
Sean was probably like, Jews are kind of white sometimes, or maybe I can give some of my points. Yeah, I would double check that. Don't
Let's
trust
double
him.
check.
Yeah.
What I would say is the most surprising result. 5th place. 5th place, with a grand total of 140 points. The Black delegation.
Yeah, actually, how did that happen? Like, really honestly, how did that happen?
Red Hood, probably.
Red Hood, yeah. Red Hood
Yeah.
was basically their second scorer. Their second highest scorer was Red Hood.
Yep.
That 13th
Wow,
round.
so they kind of came in. Oh, so without that generous 13th round, they would have been at the bottom. They would have started from the bottom and stood there.
No, I still feel like Polynesian delegation wouldn't have, because they got 0 points out of their 13th round pick.
Did they get any from Namor or
They got a total of 5 points from their first round.
How did the Jewish delegation do for that bonus 13 round? How did the Jewish delegation do?
So Spider-Woman got you 15 points.
Yeah,
That was a good pick.
Yeah.
exactly.
That's good.
So now we're we're on to the top half. The top half.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth place.
Oh, I'm changing my 5 picks, by the way.
Okay. So fourth place, grand total of 262 points.
Mm.
The white delegation. Their highest scorers.
Boo, Sean, boo.
Their highest
Boo.
scorers were The Flash and Barbara Gordon.
Yeah.
So 2 already white characters.
That's right.
Joker War and Death Metal.
Probably more about Finish Line.
Yeah.
You know.
Speed Metal.
Or Stomp the Yard.
Yeah, Speed
We
Metal.
kept the same like titles.
Next up. Actually, well, once I tell you one, I'll tell you the other. Third place with 418 points in total. The Latinx delegation.
Good job, Martine. What was the really bad pick that S chose that you
No.
were like, oh,
No.
if it was the other way, we would have probably won? Which one was
No.
that?
No. If
Now-
you recall, I said
Now the
death.
Latinx delegation's
Mhm.
MVP was Superman with
That's not
125 points.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That makes sense.
Sorry, 100. I said 127. 127 points in total. Yes.
That's pretty good
Yeah.
for a man.
Second place. Second place with a grand total of 447 points, led by Batman
Yeah.
and his 204 points.
Mm.
The
Mm.
Asian delegation.
Okay, I'll give it to him.
You know what? I'm gonna let them have it. You know, like
I'm gonna
they
let him
need to
have
win.
it. Yeah.
They need to win. You know?
What Kia said.
But first place, the grand champion in the inaugural
Hold on.
first
Let the
season
angels sing.
with
Okay,
listen,
go ahead.
with 634 points in
God
total,
damn.
led by their MVP Wonder Woman
Wonder Woman.
with 167 points, and their second highest scorer with 101 points. That's right, they have two 100-point scorers.
Oh gosh.
Wonder Woman.
Harley Quinn.
Oh my God! My vagina and the power of the vagina.
Yeah, I figured.
634 points for the multiracial delegation.
I just want to do a really short recap of this whole season.
Wait, really
so
quick. I
pretty
just
much
want to make one more point. Your third scorer with 80 points. I'm sorry. Your fourth scorer has 80 points. Your third scorer has 84 points.
Oh gosh.
Who's that?
84 points, if we remember, was what the Polynesian entire team scored.
Yeah.
Oh.
So let's thank that character.
The ninth one,
So-
is that Captain Marvel? Or who
So
was it,
84 points for Captain America, your
Okay.
number one draft pick, and
So pretty much
80 points for Captain Marvel, your number
Wow.
5, your 5th round draft pick. Your 5th round and your 6th round scored 80 and 101 points respectively. That is what we call
Okay.
savvy drafting, people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I-
She told us, she did tell us, she told us from the beginning, she told us what she was going to do, and then she did what she told us she was going to do. So mazel tov, Frankie.
Thank
Mazel
you,
tov,
thank
yeah.
you for like telling the world that. I was going to reiterate, to motivate people here on out. Like when you set your mind to something, really set your mind to it, and then actions speak louder than words, my friends. I mean, though I did call myself the front runner the whole time, and everybody laughed at me. Everybody laughed at me as I called myself the front runner. But
Thank you for the Super Bowl speech. We all know you're going to Disney now.
yeah, like
So
I
don't you
think
have to-
I should get a racial draft ring. Like I'm trying to get trying to get what's his name to make a picture of all of my team with me hovering over it, kind of like a goddess. I think that is actually really good. And that'd be a great idea, and I'll post that on my wall.
I've been thinking we should have racial draft T-shirts. But Kia, go on with your speech. Don't you have a lot of thank yous to do? Who supported you throughout this season, girl?
Oh my God! Well, first and foremost, the people that supported me wasn't the initial captain of the multiracial team. Let's put it that way. Yeah. ACC Biggs. Yeah. Who's your daddy? What? Yeah, that's right. I said it. I'll call you out because I ain't scared. Maybe I'll see you next year. I don't know.
I believe his words were, "I would love to see how it plays out."
Yeah, well, I'll let you know on Twitter. I'll tag you.
And then Kia ran with it and left literally nothing but a road of flames and destruction behind her.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I do want to say Annie really supported me. Mike really supported me. I have to give you props, Mike, the racial draft man, the guy that created it. You know, if it wasn't for Martine's little happy face, I wouldn't have been so motivated. You know, so thank you, Martine, for your smiles. You know, he just went out. He's like, F this, I'm out. I want to thank Joaquin for making sure I stayed focused because honestly, I don't know if he wasn't playing, maybe I wouldn't have been as focused. But yeah, I definitely did this, you know, to show him how it's done. Since he's so lost on other things, you know, figured this is the one thing I could do, and I could show him how it's done. Yeah, I want to thank, you know, the people that created every single player on my team. I also just, I mean, thank you 2020 for giving me the time to play the racial draft.
For playing so she would have people to defeat and step on.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, and
well, I want to thank.
I think in a special. Wait, hold on. Not the Scarecrow. What's the one person on the Native American team? Starts with an S.
May.
No, not May.
Oh,
no,
you're talking about the Crow?
The Crow. There, yeah. I called him the Scarecrow. I got jumped. I called him the Scarecrow. I was like, the Scarecrow? Yeah, how many points? Scarecrow get? Just want to point that out. That's 0. But yeah, I mean, overall, though, this has been, like, amazing. You know, I don't think anybody will ever beat that score. In the whole racial draft, like, ever. But, you know, I hope that, you know, next season people really, you know, come to play, you know?
Really. Well, you set the bar high. But
we're not even done with season 1 yet.
But but our friends at the Fantasy Comics League have still come through because there is still more competition to follow. Up until as we lead up to season 2, there are going to be, as you know, some of you guys know that aren't listeners, but behind the scenes, there are going to be head-to-head challenges for the next 7 weeks. So look forward to these competitions. Give me a second, guys. In week 1, we will see the multiracial delegation take on your friend Joaquin and the Native American delegation.
Oh.
The Polynesian delegation, our friend Tamati, will take on the Asian delegation.
Or Tamati. Oh, no.
Hey, wait, you say the Asian team is going to take on the Polynesian team? Oh, damn.
Oh, boy.
The Jewish delegation will be taking on Sean and the white delegation.
Oh, that's going to be easy. Obviously, Annie's going to win.
And
filing an objection. Why do I get stuck with the heel? Why?
And the black delegation will be taking on the Latinx delegation. Now, one wrinkle for these competitions is that you have to set a starting lineup of only 5 characters. Starting 5. Now, some of you have already told me who your starting 5 are.
Yep.
But here's your opportunity live on the podcast for you to tell me who your 5 will be. And we're going to
Is it
start.
okay?
We're going to start with you, Annie.
So sorry, Don. I jumped the gun. My starting 5 are going to be She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Zatanna, Jean Grey, and Spider-Woman.
Let me get that for posterity. She-Hulk, Moon Knight,
Zatanna,
Zatanna,
Jean,
Jean Grey,
and Spider-Woman.
and
Jessica Drew.
Spider-Woman.
Jessica Drewkovich. We need to Jew up the podcast. Yom Kippur is approaching.
That is, will you atone for
Will I
your
atone?
season-long performance with a win over the white delegation?
Oh my God.
They are the chosen group.
Listen. The white delegation has to atone to all of the rest of us as far as I'm concerned.
For real,
I don't think there are enough
reparations.
weeks. I don't think there are enough weeks for that kind of atonement.
There's not enough millennia.
All right. So Martine,
Mhm.
who is your starting 5?
All right, so I finally was able to get into contact with us, and we agreed they are going to be Superman,
Superman,
Wolverine,
Mm-hmm.
Sue Storm,
Sue Storm,
Doctor Strange,
and
Juan Constantino.
Juan Constantine.
That reminds me, how do you say Hellblazer on Espanol? Martin.
Hellblazer? I don't know. Not off the top of my head. I've never had to say that.
Yeah, I was just wondering what the equivalent Spanish term would be.
El Blazor del Fierro.
Damn,
Who did the Asian team pick?
I haven't gotten their top 5 yet. But Kia, who
guarantee one of them is going to be
will
Batman.
your 5 be?
Well, I mean, shouldn't I go last considering I'm such a winner? Shouldn't I say it after everybody else is picked?
I mean, you're the last on the show.
He's got you there.
Good one, Mike. Good one. Oh, this is gonna be so hard. I mean, I want to give you guys a chance. I mean, should I just pick like the people that didn't make?
Remember, there's no you guys. You're playing against Joaquin and the Native American delegation. So I'm sure you want to smash him.
So in other words, I could literally just be disrespectful and like say like the 5 lowest scorers on my team and still win. I could be disrespectful and say that.
I mean, we call that the Milton Berle.
Indeed, you could. That is like a Klingon kind of disrespect. Those are like Botleth words.
Yeah. Don't Milton Berle him. Don't Milton Berle.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure? I mean, because we could. Let's see. You know what? Definitely gonna have to go with. People want to say Scarecrow, but he's not on my team. We'll definitely go with Wonder Woman, obviously. Because, I mean, she's done so much for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be disrespectful not to put her on the All-Star team. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna put a little penis in there. You know, Captain America. Yep.
Steve is the man.
Yep.
Steve is the man.
It's because of all those steroids. That's why it's little.
No, I'm pretty sure his super soldier Is
Yeah, definitely.
Everything,
Super Soldier didn't reach that part, huh?
yeah,
everything got enhanced.
yes,
Super
exactly. You know,
Let's see. I don't know.
you know you want it. You know you want her in there. Your
I know
secondary
Cardi
MVP.
B, Harley Quinn. Yes.
Harley.
Oh yeah, good
Yeah.
choice. Good
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah, I definitely want her in there. Hmm.
The other captain, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, Captain Marvel, obviously. Is that 4?
Mhm.
That's 4. And who was your 5?
You know what? Didn't Magneto give me some really good points?
Actually, he's
No?
one of your lower scorers. Do you want me to go down the list of who
Yeah,
your?
because
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So here are your. All right. So you had Wonder Woman, then you had Harley, then you had Cap, then you had Captain Marvel, then you had Catwoman, then Cable, then sorry, Cable, then Hal Jordan, then Cyclops, then Magneto, then Deadpool, then Mr. Sinister, then Black Widow, and your lowest scorer, sadly, was Mystique.
That hurts me a little. She was
I
like,
think it hurts all of us.
it really hurts me.
She's such an awesome character.
Yeah, it's for real. But since we're going as a Native American team, and to kind of like combat his whole like, oh, I'm a man and I smash. Let's go with, you know what? Let's go with Cable.
Cable, interesting. All right.
Yeah.
You're gonna destroy us all anyway. It doesn't matter what she does, she's still gonna prevail.
Well, listen, these are head-to-head challenges, so you only have to beat the team that's in front of you.
Which
And remember, each week you guys get to set a different starting 5. So I mean, you can pick the same 5 if you want, but you can switch it up if you want.
It's gonna get spicy on this podcast.
So can we get a little trash talk more? Can we get a little more trash talk in there? Randy, I know you're not the captain of the Black Delegation, but if you'd like to stand in for the Black Delegation.
Randy's like, I want no parts.
Well, I mean, I feel like what exactly can we trash talk about? We're not.
Yeah.
I mean, the Black Delegation did not finish last place, and we spent a lot of time trashing their draft picks.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time litigating this.
Yes, the Hail Mary round did help them tremendously. But
that I feel like we're not doing as bad as we could.
Yeah, I mean, their last pick and their bonus pick were the bulk of their scoring.
Right.
So.
Right. So I mean, I feel like I am hoping that their 5 for the upcoming is strategically better than some of their previous choices.
So you're saying that they're not going to put their team with Goku on it, or is that what you're?
I knew that was coming. Oh.
I'm rooting for them. I'll put it that way.
What about Dazzler? Didn't you guys also Dazzler as well?
Dazzler and Domino, who I thought would be scoring.
How many points did Domino and Dazzler get?
So Dazzler gave them 9 points, which, as you know, is more than Namor got for the Polynesian delegation. Okay. But Dazzler sadly only got them 1 point.
Well, I am curious though. Who are the 5 that they chose?
They haven't given me their 5 yet.
Okay, well, can I suggest who I
You
think?
should
Yeah, I think you
definitely
should.
make suggestions. I know
Okay,
three. I know who 3 of my 5 suggestions would be.
okay.
Goku,
Well,
Uh,
my
Okay, before
five.
we do that, gentle people, I must say goodbye as I must prepare for Yom Kippur. So,
Okay.
Well, thank
to
you. It was
any,
always it was a pleasure, Annie.
yes, Annie, love you.
oh, I love you guys all, and of
Nice to
course,
meet you.
for any of our Jewish listeners, may you have a sweet and easy next year and be sealed and written into the book of life in the most loving and nourishing way. And I will be on next week to definitely trash talk.
Yes.
And for our Jewish listeners, reach out, say hey, and
Yes,
join our community and join the delegation.
exactly. Come talk to us on Twitter. Come talk to us. Anyway, bye, guys.
All right.
Bye,
Bye.
Annie.
Ah!
So, Randy, who would you like to see the Black delegation pick for their starting 5?
Okay, so I'm not really a huge fan of villains, but I do realize their power and their impact in terms of the crossing over into multiple different titles. So I would go with Doom, um, the Joker.
Mm-hmm. Joker, as
Mhm.
you know, was their highest score.
I would also
Really?
I would also go with Reverse Flash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Um,
Actually,
dang,
you know what? I might be wary of going with Reverse Flash because his event just ended.
Mm.
yeah, that's true.
It just hit its conclusion, so that might not be the right approach because
At the
he
same
did get his
time,
ass handed to him by the Flash last week.
at the same time, I'm kind of working with a limited pool.
Hmm.
so,
Not a lot of
so,
good
Dazzler
options.
always will always be on the come up, right?
That's true. That's
so,
true. Galactus has also been brutally murdered.
right.
Um,
So,
By
relatively
Thor.
speaking, um, let's see. Joker, Doom, Reverse Flash, and as much as I want to say Thanos and Hela, I
don't
think that
forget,
might.
don't forget Jason Todd, my friend.
I'm trying to think where did I even see the last. I'm actually on the blog right now. I was trying to see what the other.
Oh yeah, the 13th round choices I don't think are there yet.
Okay, so
So
in that
Jason Todd was their 13th round pick.
13. Okay, so instead I'll say I guess Thanos and then Jason Todd. So that would be my I guess that's 5, right?
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay,
So just to make sure, you would hope that they would pick Joker, Thanos, Doom, Reverse Flash, and Jason Todd.
correct.
That makes sense. I mean, Thanos, when he shows up, business typically picks up. Um, Reverse Flash, time travel shenanigans, maybe he'll still do something. But
Yeah,
again, it really seemed kind of definitive. If you've been reading the Flash, really seems like he might be gone for a little bit.
yeah. It was
Um,
a. I actually I don't even usually read Flash titles yet. Like I haven't gotten yet into Flash, but I read Speed Metal. And I was like, oh yeah, this is this is definitely a defining point for him. So.
and but yeah, Jason Todd is out there. He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you had an opportunity to look at which books are coming out this week, but Three Jokers is coming out this week, which
Uh-huh.
means 3 opportunities for the Joker to score.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not to mention Jason Todd is heavily featured in that.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. I mean, a part of me wants to believe in Domino. Part of me wants to believe that.
I mean, if it was up to me, Domino would be like, especially given like after in the wake of Deadpool coming out and X Force and Krakoa being a thing, I would just have her be more prominent. But the fates have been cruel in that aspect.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, the season speaks for itself. Domino has been disappointing, but I just
Yep.
think that if we're just thinking about week to week, if we're just thinking about this week, this coming week, I think that there's a better shot at Domino showing up. Let me see what, let me look at which books are supposed to be coming out this week, because I think that will help people decide. And sorry, listeners, if this is a little bit boring for you. This is a strategy for those people who want to follow the Fantasy Comics League, our friends at Fantasy Comics League.
It's a strategy that the multiracial team went with pretty much the whole time while picking. Like what books would be coming out. I was like, hey, what books do you think will be coming out?
That's
I should probably put them on my team. For points.
That was a good strategy. So
Martine is like, yes, write that down.
So FYI, these are the books that are due to come out this week. From the big two, Marvel and DC. Wonder Woman, Justice League, Batman 3 Jokers, Avengers, Fantastic Four, Red Hood Outlaw, Batman Superman Annual, X Factor, Savage Avengers, Dark Knight Death Metal Multiverse's End.
Ooh.
Batman Joker Warzone, Strange Academy, John Constantine Hellblazer, Legion of Superheroes, Immortal Hulk, Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, Marvel's Shang-Chi #1. Remember Shang-Chi? Remember when he was a guy? Falcon and the Winter Soldier #3.
Yeah.
So, I think that gives us some insight into what we might see from some of these other teams. But given that, Randy, what do you think? What characters do you think you could see show up?
Yeah, I mean, I almost feel like I want to stick with the same characters just because, like, as much as I like the lineup, that was, the inclusion of Dazzler and Domino and all of them, I am not confident that they'll have appearances. So I feel like the 5 that I chose are, like, strategically still not great, but relatively speaking, I couldn't really go much worse.
Yeah, it really is disappointing that the Black delegation didn't make one of the defensive picks that everybody wanted them to take, which would have been Black Panther. Yeah. Although Wakanda Gate continues. March, we haven't forgotten Wakanda Gate in light of recent events.
Actually, was Wakanda Gate where we're trying to figure out whether they're going to bring Killmonger back?
No, Wakanda Gate was, you might not have been here for this, in light of Chadwick Boseman's passing, there was a groundswell of people who felt that might be a good gesture for Latinx delegation to give him back, give Black Panther back to Black people. And Martin wanted he felt like he needed to think about it.
Oh yeah, what did you come up with, Martin?
The controversy, which we named Wakanda Gate.
So have you decided, Martin?
Have what you? Let's tell Black people.
Go ahead. Tell Black people why you're not going to give them
back. Why Black Panther?
Why you're still holding on to part of our legacy.
Yeah.
Well,
this is the time to ask S. Where's S?
We can't. It can't just be a straight out giveaway. It would have to be like a trade or something.
Oh! Wow! Do you hear him? we just lost somebody. We're in grieving, and he's over here trying to trade. He's trying to take advantage of our grief.
Here's the thing, Martine. Here's the thing, Martine. Do you really want to trade with the black delegation?
You better be on.
Or would you rather have the opportunity to get a some kind of compensatory pick for your trouble?
I mean, if you do give us the Black Panther, that would allow us to remove one disadvantaged pick, but also would allow us to pick a whole brand new pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A compensatory pick for the Latinx delegation.
Sounds interesting.
It does sound interesting.
But I just want to really point out, though, that Martine, like, while we were in grieving, he's over here, well, we're going to need to trade, you know.
Well, I didn't know that the other option was on the table. I didn't know.
So rather than do a good deed while somebody is grieving, you want to.
The world is a cruel, cruel place.
I understand.
Obviously,
he wants to drive.
Black Panther.
He wants to drive the hard bargain for the Black Panther has been stripped away from the black delegation.
So
that's I'd have to get back to you on that.
You had like a couple weeks.
Wakanda Gate continue.
I can't do this stuff on my own. That's the thing.
Hashtag Wakanda Gate. What's your Twitter handle, Martine?
Yeah.
But on that note, guys, I mean, I think that we've come to the closing part of the show. Wait.
Wait, hold on. Does anybody want to ask me, like how to win, or, how it feels to win, or like, what winning, what could happen for you maybe next round if I don't, play, or whatever the case may be? Like, anybody?
No, I do have another question though.
Yes.
Our challenge of our Kyle Rayner, Hal Jordan, what happened to that?
Ooh.
Like, you haven't responded to that at all.
That's non-response.
Oh my God.
Is a
I'm so sorry. Honestly, like, I was too busy winning and signing autographs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, it was like, it was like one of those like fan letters, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll get to it, but I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But
I feel like Eminem in Stan, you don't get far by not writing your fans back. And
well, damn, that was Stan.
So,
Martine, don't pull a Stan on me. Like, goddamn, I just got your letter, gosh.
Yeah. As per the rules of the challenge, not responding after the full challenge was issued, the why they would win.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, by default, Kyle Rayner is the victor.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? They needed a win.
But that doesn't mean that there isn't room for an additional challenge. If you would like to put forth a challenge, either of you as captains, on behalf of your delegation.
Martine, I mean, you want to play?
You don't have to challenge. You don't have to challenge each other. You can challenge. You can call out someone else if you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, like I think you probably are a little afraid.
Please don't. The black delegation, have mercy.
I don't know. Black delegation might actually win some of these.
Actually,
challenges.
I actually have a challenge.
Oh.
Wonder Woman versus Joker.
Oh. I'm that gift right now.
So you just suggestion and do the thing that I asked you not to do. Oh, okay. I think
Wonder Woman has called out. Multiracial Wonder Woman has called out Black Joker. Wow.
My,
I
my,
like
my
it.
speaking up was probably not the wisest decision. I want to preeminently.
Yeah. Sorry about that, but you triggered me.
I would like to preemptively apologize. Possibly don't come after me.
I'll be like, thanks to Randy. What's your Twitter handle?
All right. Multiracial Joker has called out.
Whoa.
I mean,
you
sorry,
mean Black
multiracial.
Joker.
Right,
Goddamn.
multiracial Wonder Woman has called out Black Joker. Sorry.
Mhm.
All right. Do you have a challenge?
And this is for
Martine?
Harley. Just saying. This is for my girl Harley. She's gonna watch.
Let's see. Who from the black delegation do we want to challenge?
Oh, we're just
No.
arguing.
You just
Wait a
the
second.
black
You
people,
can't.
Harley? After Wakanda Gate? Yeah, that's not goddamn.
I'm kidding.
Get them while they're down. Get them while they're down, Martine.
No, I'm kidding. I think honestly, if I had to make another challenge right now, it's a battle for Atlantis. Aquaman.
Ooh, finally. Wait, what about the classic, the Asgardian tag team showdown?
Oh yeah, that too. But maybe not this time around. Just for right now. Yeah.
The battle
Good.
for Atlantis.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Aquaman has called out Namor.
Classic.
Oh, he's making this official like right now.
All right, I like it. People have their thoughts, and I'm sure you're gonna do your research as to how Aquaman can come out ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think just in points alone, like, does that count?
No, this is.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, now we're in Tomatee's wheelhouse. This is story mode.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And can I just speak up for a second? And yes, I'm part of the black delegation, but quite frankly, I have my own little separate Randy delegation, and y'all may have some points on the board for Aquaman, but I am rooting for Namor the Submariner. So for Tamatee, I will issue the challenge. Bring it on.
But you see, here's why Namor probably won't win. There's not a blonde white woman in the balance.
Oh Lord. I'm mad, but you're right.
It would be a totally different game if Meryl was blonde. But since she's not, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But so just since you're here, since you're not connected to any of the delegations, what battle would you like to see, Randy, among the draft picks?
Let me see. Let me look at the lineup here.
Namor versus the Crow.
Dang it! I don't even have the lineup thing right in my face. Gosh.
I know. Gosh, gotta be on top of things, Randy.
Well, I will actually say that I wish that we could see an outright Hal versus Kyle. Like, because Kyle is also in my delegation too, and I want him to win.
Because he's better.
Right, exactly.
Is he though?
No,
not according to DC Comics, but like there maybe that's a little
and according to the rest of the world, I mean.
right. So I
depending
need
on the generation.
I need some physical proof, some physical manifestation of Kyle as the superior GL.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he won by default, but
I'm scared.
It's not.
It wasn't. It was. I don't think it was because they're scared. I think it was more like it's embarrassing to lose twice.
Yeah.
Like that's the heart that he had, and he's just like, you know what? Let's give it to him.
You know what I'd like to see though, since I'm just an observer.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Marvel versus Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Both of them are black now.
Maybe. Another one. Supergirl. Jewish Supergirl
Mm-hmm.
and Polynesian America Chavez.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, Tamati's gonna have to assert some challenges, guys. Tamati has told us that he has some challenges on deck, but we haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
We have stood from the mountains.
Where you
You
at,
will not
Tommy
have
T? Where
it.
you at?
But we had a blast today, guys. This was a fun show. If this is
This
your
really
first
was.
if this is your first time, we apologize for the audio issues. But you know, keep coming back. You know, let us
Keep coming
know.
back. This is not a one night stand. Keep coming back.
Right, this is not a one night stand. Hopefully we can be your podcast with benefits. And
Yes.
so, Martine, do you have any final words for the people?
Well, this was very fun to be attacked as I was.
Bronze,
But
bronze medal.
I know, yeah. During like Latinx History Month, that we at least got something, you know. It's like in comic wise, we don't really got shit.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think Kyle's gonna end up dying on that DC's Dead Planet shit, and I just
Oh,
want to
God.
see, yeah, because like, well, you know, it's possible, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna introduce him, and then they're gonna kill him off that same issue, and then just like introduce the Mexican, and then we're gonna kill him off during
Oh, God.
Latinx Heritage Month.
Right. And right before Donald Trump election week or
Mhm.
month or however long.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Way to go out on a high note.
Yeah, you bummed us out. Nice. Randy, would you like to bring our spirits back up?
Well, at least while the black delegation is suffering a bit, I will at least have my own separate delegation to enjoy the carnage. So, I mean, at least I'll kind of have a high note to go out on.
Well, I would say that despite what's happening in the racial draft for the black delegation, the black delegation's winning when it comes to real life delegating.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Hawkman and Space Wakanda, aka Thanagar.
That's the best work.
Yeah, I said it. And nth metal. It's all black now. So we had a fun week, and again, Kang the Conqueror. So we have a black future. I think our future is bright.
Or dark.
Well, he's kind of dark, actually.
Well, fair point. It's dark future. The darkest. And Kia.
Yeah, well, I have a mashup for everybody.
Oh, good,
From one of my favorite songs on the planet as of right now that I listen to every morning when I wake up. Yeah, y'all ready for this? Yeah, it's just like a little bit here and there from the song, but some of my favorite lines in the song. But all right, here we go, because I'm multiracial and I can rap now all of a sudden. Look, I just flipped the switch, flip. I don't know nobody else is doing this. Body stopped to drop. I hit the floor. Now they want to know me since I hit the top. Hey. I just want to also say that I'm light skinned, but I'm still a dark nigga. And it's winning is nonstop. Why shit don't ever stop. And that's it.
Okay.
That's me.
Well, I did make a promise, and this is now going to be me satisfying that promise. Until next time,
All things are possible. Oh shit!
Welcome back to the Racial Draft Podcast. I am your host, Michael Ford, and I am joined by my co-host, Kia. Kia, say what's up to the people.
Hey guys, what's up?
And we're also joined by a special guest, Randy. Randy, do you have a nickname? Do you have a thing that like you want the people to know you as?
Randy is handy.
I'm good with just Randy. I'm not too fancy. I'll just.
I mean,
stick with
you
my-
have
How about Rand?
you have a ton of aliases on Twitter. I felt like you could just run them off like Khaleesi, you know, like all your various.
Well,
You're a mother of dragons.
when I first started coming up with like my Twitter nicknames and stuff like that, I was like, I really like Quicksilver. So I was like, okay, instead of Pietro Maximoff, I'm gonna be Pietro Blacksimoff.
Right.
And so after that, it just became a snowball effect of me just trying to come up with new clever names. So
Right.
now I'm
Right now you're
I think
Wakanda
it's,
Vision. Right?
Yeah. It's I'm very excited for the WandaVision show, and I was like, well, you might as well go ahead and put some black on it. So Wakanda Vision.
I got it. Well, we'd love to have you as an official captain at some point for season 2, but we'll talk about it in the future.
We'd love to get some black on that.
I mean, I feel like the black delegation, can take all the help it can get. No shade, but shade.
Oh, real quick, are we gonna be going over the
final
winnings?
final
Yeah,
score?
the final.
Yes. First of all, I'd like to apologize to the people. We were out last week. I had some things that I had to put together, so I couldn't get everything together for the show. But that's more of a behind the scenes thing. But we are back and we are raring to go. We've got a lot of cool things planned in the coming week. But format wise, we have also been joined by one of the co-captains of the Latinx team, Martine. Sorry.
There's his face.
Martine, say what's up to the people.
What's up, people?
Nice.
Ah,
So,
And wait, real quick, Mike, I just think that
Mhm.
you should be honest with your audience, and you should tell them the real reason why you weren't on last week was because you thought you looked bloated.
that was not the direction I thought I would take it.
I
And-
just,
And
it's okay though.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a little vain, but okay.
I mean, we have rough times of the month, and it's important. It's important that when you need a moment, you take a moment.
That is true.
But yeah, so listen, we're going to jump right into it because I have some things that I need to get off my chest. The first thing we should do is talk about the last couple of weeks have been pretty eventful as far as news is concerned. One of the biggest stories of the I don't know if you heard, Kia, but your Black Widow movie, Black Widow, notably drafted by the multiracial delegation, that movie has been pushed back to May 2021.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
Right. Coronavirus has messed up a lot of things, and it continues to mess up our movie calendar.
But I feel like anything with black in it shouldn't be pushed back in 2020,
Well, I mean, if we think about everything,
we're constantly getting pushed back. So that's what we're keeping. We're constantly pushed back.
exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
Black. You just put black in movie titles, and you're screwing yourself over basically.
they probably thought it was like a black person playing it. They're like, oh, we can push this back. Oh, wait, goddamn.
All widows matter. All widows matter.
That's right.
Also, we had a bit of casting news. Kia, have you been watching Lovecraft Country on HBO?
Yes, actually, I watched 2 episodes today.
Cool.
I
watched
am
3
in love.
episodes over the weekend. So the guy who plays Atticus on Lovecraft Country was recently cast for a Marvel movie. He's going to be playing Kang the Conqueror in the upcoming Ant-Man 3 movie. So that set people ablaze with enthusiasm. because obviously
Because he's blackety black.
he is exactly he is a black man, and he's from the future, so there's black people in the future.
Wait, is that the
Newsflash.
plan for the future?
Newsflash.
Black
There are
people?
black people in the future. So yes, so Kang the Conqueror, he is also a conqueror who is black. So, fear of a black planet somewhat, I guess, is what's happening with Jonathan Majors. So
Yeah, but can we hold for just a second? I just want to introduce the captain of the Jewish team. Boom, 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 boom. Eddie!
hey,
Hi.
Hey, Annie.
Hey guys, it's Fangirl Smash, aka Annie, on those rough and tumble Twitter streets, representing the Jewish delegation, co-captain of the Jewish delegation, I guess captain for today, and I'm sporting my heat exhaustion face.
Well, looks sure damn good.
Oh, hey, reminder that Yom Kippur starts tonight at sundown, so if it starts getting dark while I'm on with you guys, I'll have to get off.
Well, speaking of getting dark, we were talking about King.
Yeah, what were we talking about?
We were talking about the recent casting news over the past couple weeks. The big stories. One of them was Kang the Conqueror being cast as Jonathan Majors.
Yes. Can I talk about how much I love Kang the Conqueror?
Go for it.
I am so excited, and of course, as everybody else noted on Twitter, who is at all perspicacious and taking notice of this things, that means that the first family of Marvel, Reed Richards, is probably going to be black, which I'm really thrilled about.
And
since Kang is his ancestor.
That has led to a lot of conversation, and it will also lead to some continuing conversation, because speaking of movies, speaking of black news, the Black Adam movie had some more casting news for us this past week, as Hawkman was cast. Kia, are you familiar with the actor Aldis Hodge?
No, but should I Google?
You should.
Yes.
You should Google.
Hi, from a lady's perspective.
Let's get your reaction in real time. Google Aldis Hodge. ALDISHODGE.
So you guys remember that Hawkman is in my top 5 favorite characters of all time, and that I was probably for 10 years there, outside of an official writer at DC Comics, the one person that was able to explain Hawk continuity so that anyone could understand in under 30 seconds.
Wow.
And I am Carter Hall's biggest fan, Carter and Kendra. And so the fact that we have Hawkman coming into a major DC film has my heart fluttering. I'm so excited.
So are you more of a Kendra than a Shiera fan? Is this what we're finding out?
I love them both. I love the original Khufu and Shiera from ancient Egypt, then repeatedly reincarnated over the centuries and thousands of years, who then became Carter Hall and Shiera Hall, who was then, Shiera was killed in the 0 Hour incident. Actually, they both were. And then when Jeff Johns rebooted Hawkman, I want to say, I think in the early to mid, 2003, 2004-ish, 2005, he fixed all that continuity, but bizarrely introduced Kendra as someone who was carrying Shiera's soul.
Interesting.
Who did not have her own soul. I'm sorry, we're getting off track. I'm happy to explain Hawk continuity, but it is really bizarre. So I love Shiera, I love Carter, and I love Kendra.
So Kia, did you get your Aldis Hodge?
Yes, I did. I mean, I'd go on a date with him.
Awesome.
You know what? It wouldn't be that bad. I could look at his face. He's not too shabby. I think I've seen him in other things. I know I have, but nothing comes to mind.
Yeah, I mean, he's been on shows such as Leverage.
That's what it is, Leverage. Oh, he was the geeky. Okay, yes, that's where. Okay, I was like, I know that face.
Wow.
Why is Kia being asked to Google him and I'm not? Don't I get to Google Aldis Hodges and feast my eyes?
Yes, please. Feast away. Google.
We are Google free.
Absolutely.
The other thing I'll say is that
I know he's already buff, Aldis, but he's going to have to get to the gym because Carter Hall is a monster.
Yeah.
I mean, he is brute strength. Like he is big.
Well, hopefully he hires Kaye, Corey Kaye. Just saying, hey, what's up, Corey? Just in case you ever listen to this, what's up? How you doing?
Is your
but
friend listening to the show?
Huh?
Is your friend listening to the show? Would you a dedication?
No,
no.
Corey Kaye is a trainer for the Stars. He's the one that got Killmonger in good shape.
Michael Jordan. Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, you could hire him too, and I'm just throwing it out there, and saying, hey, what's up?
Hawkman does tend to spend a lot of time shirtless or semi-shirtless, so I'm sure, especially given that he's going to be sharing screen time with The Rock, he's going to want to have that upper body situation squared away. So I agree. But let's see, guys, did I miss a casting story? I feel like there was one more. There was one more.
You know what? I can barely hear you, Michael.